The most beautiful things are not associated with money, they are memories and moments. If you don't celebrate those, they can pass you by. True beauty is born through our actions and aspirations and in the kindness we offer to others. At times, we take freedom for granted. We really don't know how to cherish the freedom we have until it's taken from us. I think beauty is not just about what we put on our heads or on our faces or what we wear. It's deeper than that, and if we can celebrate that, celebrate the women, not just the superficiality. I think it would be really gorgeous. I have short hair. It doesn't make me more unattractive than a woman or my sisters that have more longer hair and a bit lighter. When I was growing up, my mother taught me and my sisters to celebrate each other. There was no room in our household for negativity. She taught us to embrace each other, and this was empowering for us. She also taught us the value of celebrating our differences. When I think of Instagram models, I say you have to take baby steps. You cannot just walk straight onto the runway. There was no concept of fashion and catwalk shows where I came from. Everything has to do with education. If you educate the girls, you educate the family, the community, and society in general. I don't even know where to start in terms of people having such an issue about color, especially being dark. I just think on different levels it's ignorance, it's no belief, no confidence, it's insecurity, so you want to inflict it on somebody else. When I started modeling, it was like, oh, she's too dark, and I kind of looked at them like, you're too daft. You could fancy what you'd like, but as a woman, my mother always raised us to believe in ourselves. I am very grateful that my mother brought me up that way. Restaurants serve huge portions on even huger platters, and people are tempted to eat too much. Whenever I feel I am going through my own, little, challenging moment, I just think about my mom. There's one thing we all share: we eat to nurture ourselves, to feel stronger. You've got to make yourself happy. I'm a happy person naturally. All the exhausting aspects of my job are made worthwhile because I get to experience so many different cultures. It makes you really appreciate the memories. It's sometimes tiring to get off a long-haul flight and go straight to the studio for a shoot, but if you really plan everything well, you can get so much out of combining travel with work. You can feel very strongly that someone doesn't like you. I think any model who didn't have the same sort of upbringing as me would find that very difficult. But I absolutely knew I was entitled. I never thought I was ugly, it never crossed my mind. When I started, I'd hear other people saying, "God, she's so bizarre looking," because I didn't look like the girl next door. But I was just normal. I was the girl next door. There were people in high fashion I could better relate to who were doing something more interesting and not talking this sort of rubbish. We need to do everything we can to protect the health and welfare of children around the world, but fortunately, it's getting easier to provide things like medication and care. We survived on natural resources, so we should take care of the earth. When I leave home, I do things like switching off the heat and lights. Education is the key to the future. I don't understand when people are being greedy or mean, when they say who should get what, when they get control of someone else's life. There are people who can look out for other human beings. There are people who can speak up when something is not right and say, this is wrong, and something should be done. The day you stop enjoying something is the day you should quit, if you can afford to. The beauty of reading is that it lets you travel in a way you could never know. ALEK, born the 16th of April 1977, was born in Wau in Sudan, now South Sudan, in a two-bedroom house without electricity or running water, and is the seventh of 9 children. Her mother Abigail B. 1946 was a housewife, and her father Athian 1933–1985 was an education official. Her name reportedly means, black spotted cow. When the Civil War broke out in Wau in 1985, the WEK family had to flee from both rebel and government forces. Her father, Athian, once broke his hip in a bicycle accident, and his hip was repaired with metal pins. Long periods of walking caused Athian's hip to get infected, and upon the family's return to Wau, he became paralyzed and endured a hemorrhage. He died at a relative's home in Khartoum. ALEK is a South Sudanese British model and designer who began her fashion career at the age of 18 in 1995. She has been hailed for her influence on the perception of beauty in the fashion industry. She is from the Dinka ethnic group in South Sudan, but fled to Britain in 1991 to escape the civil war in Sudan. In 2015, she was listed as one of BBC's 100 Women. ALEK was discovered at an outdoor market in 1995 in Crystal Palace, London by a model's one scout. She appeared in the music video for "Goldeneye" by Tina Turner that year, and shortly thereafter began fashion modeling. She was signed to Ford Models in 1996 and also appeared in the "Got Till It's Gone" music video by Janet Jackson that year. She was named Model of the Year in 1997 by MTV, and was the first African model to appear on the cover of Elle that year. ALEK has modeled for many notable fashion houses. She has appeared on the cover of American, French, German and South African Elle as well as ID, Cosmopolitan, Glamour, Forbes magazine Africa and Ebony. She has also been featured in editorials in American and British Vogue. In 2002 she made her acting debut in The Four Feathers as Sudanese Princess Akwul. Herb Ritz photographed her for a 1999 calendar in a Joanne Guerre body painting that was a highlight of Guerre's first retrospective. In September 2015, ALEK walked for Marc Jacobs at Spring/Summer 2016 New York Fashion Week, later appearing in the label's Spring/Summer 2016 campaign. In May 2016, she modeled for 4 special edition covers of Brazilian Elle. ALEK also designs a range of designer handbags called WEK 1933, which are available throughout selected Selfridges department stores. The name refers to the year her father was born. Her inspiration for the designs came from the brass clasp briefcase carried by her father.